Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode. Now in the Stock Market Explained series, if you've not already seen it, please go and check it out. It will have been carded in by now. So yeah, if you've not seen it, check it out after you've watched this one. In the last video in that series, I talked about how to set a stop loss, and today I'm going to do the reverse and talk about how to set a take profit. So if you don't know what a take profit is and you're an absolute beginner, this is a beginner's guide to taking profits. So if that sounds good, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and then check out all the other videos in the Stock Market Explained series, because I'm slowly going through one by one how to use the stock market for absolute beginners, and this is just one of many videos in that series and one of many videos to come. So I hope you'll enjoy it, and I hope you can go and check it out. So let's jump straight into this one and let's explain it simply. So if we're looking at our trades, basically a take profit is a point where we are happy with the money that we've made. We can see we've made a profit, or perhaps we've got out of a huge loss and we're coming up to a profit, or whatever point. Basically, it's where we have made some money and we are willing to say, okay, this is the amount that we want and this is how we are going to take it, and we're more than happy to just take it at this point. So of course, if we're happy to set a take profit at 2,000 and for example it goes up to 3,000, we don't care, we just want to get out at 2,000 and we'll be happy with that one. So that is basically the basics, the absolute basics of what a take profit is. It's a point which you decide to get out of a trade where you're happy with the profit. So that's the basics of it. And now, where do you set them and how do you place them, and what is a good point to place them at? So another thing that I talked about in the last video, which was of course setting out stop losses. Setting a stop loss and take profit limit should be at a ratio of at least 2 to 1, and that's a risk to reward ratio. So risk should be 1 and the reward should be 2. So if we're taking a risk where we could potentially lose £100 and the profit should be £200 therefore, because of course 1 to 2, you can understand how that one works. So of course we need to determine a point where we're happy to take a loss. Obviously we can do this by looking analytically or fundamentally, depending on how we are deciding to trade. If you're trading CFDs like I am here, you're probably not going to do that, but if you're trading on the other side invest, perhaps you'll do that. But if you're trading CFDs and you want to look for a point where you think is a good point to set a stop loss, this might be around, for example, on this graph, 11,371. We can see looks like a point where it's flattened out in the past. Then that might be a good point to set a stop loss. Okay, so we see a profit or a loss number for that. So if we set it 11, I'm just going to show you the basic way of how to do it. 11,371. Right, so we can see here this would be a minus 11,000, I do believe, if I'm correct on that one. Maybe it's plus 11,000 somehow, unless I've got that wrong, but I do think that is right. So that would be a stop loss at this point. So you can see here that what we intend to do is actually go past this. Okay, we can see it's actually plus 1,300 because we purchased at a very early date. So if our risk is minus, or well, in this case it is plus. This is a rare case, but if it was minus 1,300, we'd want to make our reward double that. And if it's not double that, then we don't want to enter the trade. So we need to make sure that we can actually pull that from the trade. So of course, in this case, we'll set a reward at double that, which will be at 2.6, and that will be a relatively safe and nice point to set a take profit. So that's the basics of how you set a take profit and where you set a take profit. It should be at a point where you're happy to take the profits, where you can see a price band of where it's been a good point to do so, and where you think it would be appropriate to do so as well. So in this instance, I've just talked about it, and now I'm going to show you the actual basics of how to do it. So depending on what broker you're with, there should be a simple thing that's like this. Obviously, I'm with Trading 212, made many videos on them, so if you want to see a review on it, it's also on the channel. Check that one out and subscribe. But yeah, to set a stop loss and a take profit is very, very simple. You just click on the button, click take profit and stop loss, then you go for a price number or a point number which you are happy to take a profit at. The distance from where it is from your position now to right now where it is going to be when you set the profit or loss. And if you're happy with it, then you can just set it, press confirm changes, and you're all good to go. So obviously, for the purpose of this video, I have just turned the on bot for my actual trading. I'm monitoring this one quite closely, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, you can see it's very easy to do on this account. But yeah, that's just the basics of how you set a take profit and a stop loss, but mainly a take profit in this video. So you take a profit, just to recap, I'm just going to go over it at the last part of the video here. So when you take a profit, you take a profit when you're happy with the amount of profit, when the fundamentals and analytical show you is a good point to take it, and when you're happy to get out of the trade. So when you see a nice point that you're happy with, you should just set a take profit there if you think it's going to reach it. And of course, you should have a risk to reward ratio that's quite high to make it justified. So I'll see you in the next video, everyone. Goodbye.